Solid, dude. So, me and the broskies here, we're just here and we're gonna chill, man. Welcome to the Triple J podcast, the Trail Mix, man. So the purpose of this episode is we're just gonna be like laying on the couch, you know. We're just gonna be coming up with stuff, random crap out of our butts and our heads. So, welcome to the craziness.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting in an office chair, but sure, I'm relaxed. We'll spitball. Let's just roll with it.
I'm also sitting in an office chair, but it's not that comfortable of an office chair.
Mine's pretty comfortable.
I mean, it is comfortable. It's just too high.
I'm also sitting in an office chair, but if the chair was a couch and if the office was the living room.
So you just lied to all of our listeners. So none of us are on a couch.
None of us are on the couch. I could go sit on the couch, but that wouldn't really do too much.
Yeah, I was on the couch, and then I got kicked off the couch because Faith wanted to watch TV.
That's like next level, man. You get sent to the couch, but then you were sent from the couch.
Yes.
Demoted.
Son. Like, that's like one step before the doghouse.
I know, man. Crazy.
So, anyways, I'm eating M&Ms out of a 62-ounce container.
Gosh, what a life!
Yeah, I mean, man,
that is
This is like bringing me back to my bachelor days.
Bachelor days.
Yeah. Well,
why does it have to be bachelor?
I
guess that is kind of a single thing to do.
Honestly, if it's full honest, I wasn't full bachelor. I was still dating Joy. No, never mind. The memory that I was thinking of is when we were engaged, but it was when I was here in this apartment by myself. It was before she had come over.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it reminds me when this den was like rearranged a little bit. I remember literally getting, what was it? Trolls World Tour, the second Trolls movie from Redbox, and watching it one evening, and all I was eating was what was it? Peanut butter and jelly and Cheez-Its and soda.
Oh my gosh.
I literally was chowing down on all that, and I fell asleep during the movie, and I woke up to literally the exact same scene that I had fallen asleep in, but a little bit before. But it was because I had slept through the rest of the movie, the entire playthrough of the menu, and the movie restarting to that scene.
Oh my god!
Wow, that's impressive.
That was a trippy moment. I'm waking up with a half drinking Coke and Cheez-Its on my chest, and
it's like that scene from Toy Story.
I was thinking it was probably from one of those. I don't know if I've ever fallen asleep with food on my. I feel like I have recently, but I just don't remember. But it's not a very common thing for me.
It's not common for me either. That's why it's like so distinct. It's such a vibe, man.
Yeah,
it's a vibe, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Well, anyway, did you guys ever do spitballs in high school or middle school or elementary?
What is it? I think, okay, so everything that has to do with the straw and the straw like wrapping thing, everything that has to do with that, I only did around, and I learned from my grandpa.
Huh.
Yeah, he taught me how to do spitballs, and he also taught me how to just to take the edge off and then shoot the rest of it off the straw like a missile.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And he got in trouble with my grandma for teaching us that and doing it with us, but we
Of
didn't
course
care.
you
That's funny.
did. I did it at a conference center one time, and we kind of got in trouble, but at the same time we didn't because our parents had to do other stuff, so we kind of didn't. We got scolded a few times, and then we didn't get into too much trouble, and then eventually it came to a head, and everybody got in a lot of trouble, and we had to stop.
As
But
you would normally do.
yeah, but for the majority of the time, we were able to.
That's
Keep
funny.
it under wraps.
hmm
Under I don't think I've ever done it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I not in like the traditional sense of a spitball, but like, me and my dad and my brother, we would always, take peel the wrapper off and like keep the little dry bit on the end and, shoot that out.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that's not exactly a spitball.
No, it's
No.
close though. It
It's
is very
close.
Close
close.
enough. Man. Jackie, you could say that the ruckus that got you all of y'all in trouble was probably like the last straw.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going on it, man.
Oh man.
I'm spitballing.
Oh,
No.
I
Oh no, no,
should
no,
stop.
no. Quit while you're ahead. Quit while you're ahead.
Yeah. Bang. My grandpa also taught me how to do the, if you crumple up, like squeeze together the wrapping while it's on the straw and then take it off, and then put it on the table and take just a drop of water and place it on there, then because of the water and how it absorbs into the paper will expand back. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Yeah, the little table snakes.
Yeah, table
That's what we
snakes.
called them.
Yeah, those are cool too.
that is interesting.
hmm Well, let me tell you what's really interesting is campfire stories.
Good segue. I
What
do
a
like
So
stories.
what an
yeah,
unexpected turn.
wow,
Wow.
wow. So I know I mentioned this in a previous episode, everyone, that we were talking about prom slash banquet in our high school experiences. Um,
Starshine.
so just how just how here, I'm assuming in American culture that you have people going to certain lengths for the guy to ask a girl to prom, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, you mix that with MKs, missionary kids, but not just any missionary kids from Africa who are loco. You get some interesting results. So these are some of like the craziest banquet askings that I've experienced.
I am
There.
very excited for this.
Oh, it's gonna get good. All right. So first of all, before I dive into some of these things, what y'all come up with just a random crazy, like what's the craziest thing you can think of how one of these things could go down?
Oh man.
My friend had this idea where he would get on the roof and or because we could go on the roof and then he would be like have somebody throw him a football while he's like she's there and then somebody throws him a football but it goes over the roof and he jumps off the roof and she's like oh no and she runs over and then when she looks over the edge there's a big sign at the bottom or he has a parachute that says will you go to the banquet with me.
That's
that
funny.
that
That's
one was
amazing.
that one was kind of a joke, but at the same time, he was kind of wanting to do something similar to it, but there's no way he could get permission for it, so it wasn't gonna work.
Nice. Nice. What about you, JT?
Oh man, I know. I was trying to think. I mean, my personal experience. was kind of lame and boring because I was always dating a girl whenever one of these came around. So I would just kind of looked at her one night and was like, "Hey, you want to go?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." And that was kind of the end of it.
Oof. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice. It's classy. It's classy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a
I mean,
little more formal than that, but
Yeah,
that was
I know. I
about
was
how it went down.
if it's sweet enough, then you can get by with just that when you're dating someone. Honestly,
Yeah,
yeah. It's only when like you're asking someone that you are not romantically involved with that's
yeah,
you
it's
have
a
to
big
probably
deal.
go. Yeah, you have to go all the way.
Yeah. The one thing I was kind of thinking of is Drayton. I remember you telling me a story of one time, which we can probably get into this some other time, or
Okay.
maybe even
Write this
tonight.
down. Write that down.
Yeah, right. But when you guys went out into the bush and you like,
Oh
killed
yes.
goats and stuff, or
Okay.
whatever
Yep.
it was
Yep.
that you
Yep.
did.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that came to mind was that story and someone going out and basically sacrificing a goat and using
Oh my goodness.
that as an asking and some kind of
Nice.
writing in the goat's blood on the wall or
Oh
something
my god.
ridiculous.
I don't even know if that would. I don't know if she would like that at all.
Oh, I
Or
doubt
any
it.
girl would like that at all.
Well,
I mean, it's crazy, but I think it's the wrong kind of crazy.
Wrong kind of crazy.
Probably.
Yeah, serial killer vibes.
Well, what I will tell you is that you're actually not far off from one of the
Oh my
one of the
god.
Oh
asks
no!
I'm going to talk about.
No!
Okay, so I'm going to start like pretty, blue flame, low level stuff, and I'm going to get crazier as I go. Okay.
Oh boy!
All right. So, first one. Let's see. Okay, first one was actually pretty sweet and pretty romantic. Okay. So, essentially, okay, they were already dating, so they were already a couple. It was these two seniors. It was my sophomore year. And he pretty much had left. It was after school. I think it was either after school or it was on a weekend. He had left her notes, right, that would give her a clue slash a location. And at each location was another person that he had, roped into this, to give her the next clue slash note. And also, they would at each station they gave her a singular rose, right? So she was building a bouquet as she was going. And then it all led like from the top of campus to the bottom of campus, and I say top and bottom because the whole campus was on literally a hillside. So like literally going from one end of campus to the other end was you'd probably be changing in about like maybe 500 feet of altitude.
Wow!
So it's pretty steep. But
Quite the adventure.
yeah, I know, right? But near the bottom of campus, it was our like baptismal area, and it led her all around campus, and then it ended there, and that's where he saw him. No, sorry, she saw him.
He saw
Oh
him
yeah!
himself.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. She saw him.
This is a crazy story.
I know, right? But he was there waiting with like the rest of the roses, a motorcycle, and an
Oh my
extra
goodness.
helmet, and that's when they had like a little picture thing right there. But then they both put on their helmets, got on the motorbike, and they rode off campus, and they were headed to this place called the Dunes,
Oh wow.
where it was like it was just all like sand, and they rode around and
I hate
yeah.
sands.
All right,
It's in
Anakin.
everything.
Horse rough and gets everywhere.
Yes.
Yep. So that was probably the tamest one. I mean, there were other ones that were kind of. I mean, they're sweet, but they're kind of unremarkable compared to the rest of these.
Right.
So, well, I mean, there was one that was kind of funny that literally, they were both seniors this year, like that year. It was Kyle Fossey and this other person. But it was literally they were both seniors. But the thing is that he was the tallest in the school of the students, and she was the shortest. At at least in the high school, bracket. But literally when he like they both got up on one of the bench things that we had in the common place area, and he kneeled down on one knee to give her a flower and ask her to banquet. But literally, when he kneeled down, he was just as tall as her.
That's so
my
funny.
gosh.
So that was interesting. So we were like, everybody was like, smiling, laughing, awing, kind of, whatever. Anyways,
Yeah, that
so
is really
okay,
funny.
now to raise the bar. So okay, what do I want to go with? Okay, so this person had planned to have the girl's friends to get her into the calf at a certain time, and also at a certain table in a certain chair, right?
Okay.
It was where she was in a chair in the middle of one side of the table that was facing the more open area of the room, right? So it's kind of like she got a middle front seat to what was about to happen. So all of a sudden, like as I'm experiencing this, I'm getting my food in another section at the food lines, and then I hear this music come out of nowhere, this really loud, intense music. And so I finish getting my food, and I'm walking into the main eating area, and I'm seeing this guy had got like a group of 5 other people to do a dance number with him. And so they did this whole dance routine while she was watching, and everybody else was watching, of course. Then it ended with him kind of like falling back into, the rest of the people. And then they literally launched him. They like threw him probably 10 feet forward.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he landed right at the table, and kind of it was smooth. He didn't land on the table. He landed right in front of it, but he like stopped himself on the floor and then slid onto the table. And then like, slid right in front of her, holding a flower and asking for her to go to banquet with him.
Oh wow.
Man.
Literally when he asked that, the music stopped. There was dead silence for like a second. And while everybody was like on the edge of their seats waiting for her to say, and then she was just like surprised.
Waiting for her to say
second.
no.
I know, right? She was surprised for a second, then she said, okay. And then everybody's like, yeah. Everyone went crazy. So that was something.
That's got to be kind of awkward too for the girl.
Yeah, honestly.
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll take a break here to kind of, if y'all will let me.
No.
No.
Okay, fine.
Go ahead.
Anyways, moving on. No, there's actually a system set in place for this. So, what is it? So it's usually we keep it within the classes, right? Unless you're dating, or unless, they haven't been asked, or they're not planning on being asked. But the way that we find that out as the guys, right, is literally, I remember for my class, all of us guys met in one of the dorms. Someone had made and printed out a list of all the girls in our class. And we had a discussion beforehand.
That's kind of creepy.
I know. We had a discussion saying that we want to try and, get it to where every girl in our class gets asked and gets to go with someone. We don't want to leave a girl alone, or like,
no man behind, no man left behind.
Exactly.
No girl left behind.
So here's the system that went down. We got in the line, we grabbed a pen, and we wrote down our name under our 3 choices of girls that we wanted to ask. Now, of course, before all of us, if there were people that were dating someone already, they went in, and if they were dating someone in our class, they went in first and just wrote their name under. Some of them wrote big to fill up all the space, and nobody else would write their name.
Right.
And so, so you could, even if someone's name was written on there, you could write your name too. But it was only up to 3 that you could do. Like 3, different names underneath the girl's name. And so, at the end, if we looked through the list, and if a girl had just one guy underneath, right, then automatically that was your person. But then if there were more than one name underneath the girl's name,
you had to fight to the death.
Well, kind of actually. So,
kind of.
It wasn't a physical fight. It was more like
a thumb war.
Yeah. No, we rock paper scissors. No, I'm just kidding. They would take
what a rock paper scissors.
Oh my gosh, we would take the two or three guys, and we brought them into one of the rooms and closed the door, and you had like 1 or 2 moderators, and they just kind of talked it out to see who would end up asking her. It's pretty much just like a battle of perseverance to see who would give out first.
Yeah. Battle of the minds.
But the thing is that it kind of got serious because a few times there were like some really heated discussions and arguments over this.
Ooh.
Which was kind of stupid, but I mean, it's high school guys.
True.
So yeah, I wrote down my 3, but only one of them, it was just me. No, I think it was me and another guy, but I talked to the guy, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, you can go ahead and go for her." So I ended up asking that person,
and that's how I met your mother.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord.
See,
yeah.
But now, Drayden,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now you have to tell us how you did your ask.
Well, that's actually what I was going to say. I was actually planning on moving on to my first banquet ask.
Oh, goody.
Yes, so this is a good segue. So, I mean, should I say her name, or should I leave it ambiguous?
You can leave it ambiguous for now.
Okay, cool.
Add a little mystery.
All right, sure. If you're listening, you know who you are. So this was my junior year ask, right? And so like what I did was, all right, here's the whole plan. So I wanted to ask her at a certain place. So it was behind my dorm, and my dorm was at the like on part of the most bottom point of campus. So that right behind our dorm was the guard trail, what we called it, because it was the kind of the walkway that went around the inside of the perimeter of campus where the security guards would walk during the night.
Right.
So I knew that I wanted to ask her there. And then I wanted to, after I asked her to invite her to dinner, and I planned to have a secluded dinner on this little hill that was right next to that area. And that little hill had like a little, flat area. It was a small flat area. It was perfect for just a table of 2. And then you had a nice view of the Rift Valley from that point.
Aww.
Right. So here's how all of this went down. So the day before, I go and buy all my ingredients for dinner. And yes, I cooked everything myself.
Wow. Dedicated.
Yes, it was it. I have never done anything culinary to that level ever again since then. Now obviously I had like advisors who were like some of my lady friends, and then also my dorm mom to kind of help me navigate everything.
Oh, nice.
But I knew what I wanted to make, and so I went to the Dukas in the market to get everything that I needed. Brought it back the day of. I literally spent 5 hours,
Oh my
working
goodness.
like everything.
That is crazy.
I know. So I had a baked chicken, green
Wait,
beans, mashed potatoes,
baked chicken?
baked chicken.
I don't know. I don't like
He's a
baked
junior in
chicken.
high school, man. Leave him
I'm just
alone.
kidding.
Okay, all right. So I had baked chicken, I had green beans, mashed potatoes, and then I had chocolate pie for dessert.
Ooh, that's a good
Oh,
one.
okay, all
And then
right,
you
all
had
right.
chicken.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So
You had me, then you lost me, but now I'm back.
okay, cool. So I spent that whole time cooking. During that time, I had asked one of my lady friends who was, kind of best friends with the girl that I was asking. I asked her to try and get her onto the guards trail at that point by a specific time, right? And I
Right.
said, like, however way that you can get her there, like, that's fine. What I didn't know till afterwards was how far she was dedicated to doing this. So apparently, I was told this afterwards by the girl that I was asking, because we talked about it over the dinner. But spoiler alert. But apparently the friend had played it off like she was having some kind of huge emotional crisis and needed to talk to her. And
Oh,
so
wow.
she was literally like, "Oh yeah, sure, let's go talk." And then she led her across, the guards trail and everything. And then she kind of gave me updates every once in a while to their location. So thankfully I had everything prepared at that point. And I had bought a bouquet of white roses to give to her. And so I get dressed up, get fancied up and everything. Oh my gosh, thinking back on how I looked, I probably looked so dweebish. But I thought I was spiffy.
So no real change to your current style?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding.
Absolutely no change.
You look stunning.
If anything, it's a downgrade. But so I was there. I was standing, waiting for them to come around the corner. And it was them coming towards me. It was me standing there with the bouquet of roses behind my back, and then behind me up the hill was the table that I had set and prepared, right?
Wow.
So she was coming around there. They were walking and talking and everything. So I made my way up there, and I was like, "Hey," it's like, "How's it going?" And then the girl was like,
How's it
"Oh,
going?
it's going good." It's like, "Hey, Drayden, how's it going?" I said, "Yeah, it's going good." And then I was rehearsing this in my head so many times, and I was trying not to mess up the way that I wanted to say it. So
Nice, you look
I was
high.
like, "Hey, so like," oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I had said like, "Hey, so this is all still with the bouquet of roses behind my back, which she has not noticed at all at this point." Which I was surprised. But I said, "Hey, so like, we don't even know that know each other that well. Do you know like we need to man, I'm messing it up now." Uh, I did it. I assure you, I did it perfectly when I was saying it. Um, it's like we don't even know we don't know each other that much. Like we need to hang out sometime and get to know each other better. And she's like, "Yeah, that would be awesome." And then she's like, "All right, well, you have a good one. I'll see you later." And she started talking, and I was like, "Oh no, wait.
That's not what I meant.
I was like, "Well, I told her, like, well, the perfect place that I think of is probably at bankwet." And then that's when I whipped the flowers from around the back of me, and I went down on one knee, and I was like, "Would you go to banquet with me?" And she was totally blown away. She was not expecting me to ask her at all, and she was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I was like, "Ah." And then I hear cheers from behind a hedge, and it was like 3 of my friends that were videoing and taking pictures without me knowing at all.
That's awesome. That's good friends right there.
Yeah, it was good. But here's the thing. So after I did that, she's like, "Oh, this is so sweet, Drayton." And I was like, "I really appreciate this." And then she's like, "Okay, well, I've really got to talk with my friend, but I'll catch you later." And I was like, "Wait." I was like, "Oh, do you want to like join me for dinner?" And I motioned up the hill, and then she looked up there, which was literally in plain sight. But she looked up there, and she's like, "Whoa, whoa!" So she was totally blown back by that. And then her friend was like, "All right, I'll see you two later." And then she walks by, and then it finally dawned on the girl, and she was like, "I'm gonna kill you for this." Oh my gosh. And so she walked off, and then she came up with me, and we had a dinner. We had a great time. Um, it was awesome because she was telling me the whole story of leading up to that, and we were laughing about it. And then out of nowhere, my good friend in high school, I'll keep his name ambiguous, I guess, but he and I actually knew each other from before high school because we were in the same country when we were younger. So I knew him from way. But actually, during that time, asked his person to banquet, and they had both come over because he knew that I was doing my thing, and they had both come over and crashed our dinner, and so they joined us, and we just had a good time together as two because he realized that both of our dates were good friends as well, and so we kind of all just hung out together, and it was great. It was an awesome time. So we split the chocolate pie with them, and it was just so much fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was good. Okay. Ramping it up from there. I'm gonna try and blow through these. I promise I won't take as much time on these.
Good. And then
Okay.
I'm gonna help you out when you're done.
Okay. Cool. I don't
Yeah,
know what
I
that
got
means.
you. I'm gonna help you win some points back.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. All right.
I got you.
Thank you. So okay, I'm gonna ramp it up, and it's still gonna be one of my asks. It's gonna be my senior year ask. Okay. So, and this one I'm proud of. This one was great because I planned it perfectly. It was perfect for my date, and it like everything worked perfectly. It was so good. So my date and I were huge Marvel fans. All right. Well, okay, I still am. I don't know about her, but at that time too, we were huge Marvel fans. Specifically MCU. So,
Wait, what? Marvel fans, specifically MCU, isn't that? Oh, the movies versus the comics.
Yes,
Okay, never
yes,
mind.
yes, yes,
I was like, wait, is it MCU just Marvel? But yeah.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
I knew that we were having like a sports tournament on campus at that point. Like other schools came over. So there was a lot of hullabaloo happening down on the lower side of campus. I had all this planned up near the top side of campus. And so, okay, I had sent two people to go down there and fetch her to get her come up here. Yes. And but what I didn't know is how they did it. So they literally dressed up in like suits and sunglasses and went down to her. And when they approached her, they said, your name. We're agents of Shield. We need you up at the top of campus. And she was like,
oh, I think you told me about this one.
yeah, she was literally like, she knew exactly what was going on. Okay, I'll have to say this. This was like, me and her were dating at this time. This is why she said the following. When she realized what was happening, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love you, Drayton Henderson." But
That escalated
anyways.
quickly.
Yeah, that was good. Very quickly.
Anyways.
Joy is in the past. It's okay.
Exactly. No, just kidding. No. Anyways, so she followed them up to the top of campus, and it was when she got to the point, she was stopped at a certain point by two of my lady friends who were dressed up as Scarlet Witch and Black Widow, and they told her to stop at at that certain spot. I came out with a literal blanket as a cape and a normal hammer. And I came out as Thor, and I said, "Any lady who worthy to lift Mjolnir will be worthy to go with me to banquet." And so I placed the hammer on the ground, and then it fell over, and then I was stumbling to try and get it to stand up.
Nice.
And so I finally got to stand up, and then each of the two ladies on the side tried to lift it. They couldn't. Hold on. I messed the story up. Never mind. Okay. First,
Wow.
when I know, right? This is horrible. So she was stopped at the spot. Okay. First comes out one of my friends dressed up as Captain America, and he comes and says, like, I want you to come with the banquet. Maybe we'll dance, maybe not, but I hate to step on your toes. And then he gets shot in the back with a pretend arrow, and it's another one of my friends dressed as Hawkeye, and he comes in and says, "The Tesseract gave me a target. It was you to ask to banquet." And then another one of my friends dressed as the Hulk comes in and smashes him and says, "You, me, banquet." And then I come in, smack him away with a hammer, and then do my thing. So yeah. Anyways, the two girls tried to lift the hammer, and they couldn't. And then I said, "What about you, fair maiden?" pointing to my date. And she just bends over, picks it up with ease. She's not even going to act like it was a struggle. And she's just holding it over her shoulder, and everybody's cheering and everything. And then I literally get down on one knee, hold my hand up, and a bouquet is thrown into that hand. And then
that's some coordination right there.
I know, right?
That's
It worked
impressive.
so well. And that was first take too. I didn't even practice that.
Oh, nice.
I know. And so then I pulled the flowers and asked her to banquet, and she said, "Sure." After all that effort for a sure. Anyways. So literally, this guy was inspired by Shrek in a sense.
Oh no.
Oh.
Is it earwax?
No.
Okay.
No, he had dressed himself in just overalls. Just
Oh
overalls.
no.
A
Oh
straw
no.
hat and a piece of whatever in a piece of grass in his mouth. And he literally goes to the market and buys a live goat. Buys
Okay.
one. It is his. He brings it to campus, and I mean the goat has some longish hair, right? It's not overly long, but it's long enough. And he shaves the letters BQ
Oh no.
into the side of the goat.
Oh no. Poor
Oh
Mr. Goat.
no.
And then he has the girl, meet him at a certain
She has to
spot.
shave
And
her
then,
answer in.
oh my gosh.
On the
Oh,
other side.
no, he literally showed up with that. Just that. No flowers,
Oh my
no
gosh.
nothing. Just that. And he's like, "We go to banquet with me?" Oh my gosh. I mean, she said yes. So I guess it
Wow.
worked.
I guess it works.
I know, yeah. But I mean, at the same time, I don't think there was a system in place for if a girl said no to anybody. So
Yeah.
I think we also kind of deliberated as guys if we knew the girls well, whether they were going to be okay with someone or not.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just limited male knowledge,
This is true.
This is true. So anyways, so going from there, there's this one guy. Yeah.
Oh no.
So going from there, it was I'm trying to get this right. It was this guy. He was one of the few Australians that we had at our school, and so thus he was very proud of his heritage.
Naturally.
Naturally, he was amazing guy, really, really awesome. So I had seen his preparation going to class one day. It was behind one of the other dorms, and I just see these like a bunch of shirtless guys just doing some kind of choreographed number in the back of the dorm. And I was like, okay, going to class now. Uh, and then so I had realized what was going on because when I was walking somewhere, I was walking past one of the girls' dorms. He had gone up there and asked her to come out of the dorm, to the front. And he had about 20 other guys helping him out on this. So when he yelled, "Hit it," they started playing "It's Raining Men," Hallelujah, that song. And they all did this huge dance number, and they all started taking their shirts off for some reason. And it ended with him kind of being enveloped, kind of sinking down, and them covering him with their arms and stuff. And when he emerged, they had launched him up on, on the shoulders of one of the dudes, and literally all he was wearing was an Australian flag Speedo.
My gosh.
Oh no.
And then they kind of, regally, lowered him down, and then he kind of did a pose and asked her out. And, I mean, she said yes.
I mean, how can you say no to that?
Exactly. Especially with the everyone chanting, "It's raining men, hallelujah, it's raining men."
I'm actually kind of curious. I want to ask to our female listeners out there if any of these would have worked on you,
Yes,
or would
please.
you have turned them
Let us
down?
know. Mm-hmm.
I'm curious
We need to know. We really need to know.
because we're just three dudes.
Exactly.
I mean, what do we know?
Exactly. Yeah. I can't think of any other crazy ones that come to mind. I might mention them if I remember them. That's
Yeah.
all the ones that I remember. Those are the memorable ones.
Those are definitely memorable. But Drayden, I'm gonna help you out.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna help you earn some points back.
Okay.
Now you got to tell us about your proposal to your wife.
Oh, this is great. This was utter perfection because literally there were levels of unintentionality that just worked out so amazingly, and it just makes it better and better and better. So, during the summer of 2020, this is while Joy was she had gone back over to Kansas City to be with her extended family, since she had nowhere to go when the school shut down due to COVID. So I was going to see her twice during this summer, and we had already been talking about getting engaged, about marriage and stuff like that. So she knew in her mind that there was a 50-50 chance each time that I'm going to see her that I'm going to propose. That's just how everything was working out. She figured that if I didn't propose when I went to see her in May, that I would most likely propose during when she came over to us when we went up to on our family beach trip.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole time she was thinking that I was going to most likely propose at the beach. So she had no expectation, none that I was going to propose in May. Spoiler alert, I did.
Spoilers.
So
it'd be awkward if you didn't.
I know,
Yeah.
right? What was it? So my plan is that I had found a park in the middle of Kansas City that had a rose garden. And so I was like, that's a nice location. That's a really nice location. So we need to try and plan a visit over there, and then that's where I'll do my thing. And so we went, and we had gotten dressed up, a little bit fancy. We went and got lunch at a Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and had gotten some stuff. And then when we went over to the park to have our lunch, it started pouring rain.
Oh yeah.
And then so we were like, crap, that's a bummer. And then we scurried our way over to some kind of covering in the park. We found this little pavilion that was covered. That was right next to the rose garden. We looked at the rose garden. The rose garden was closed due to the time of the year or something. So we're like, crap, dang it. But then, the pavilion that we were at was overlooking the rose garden like perfectly. It was literally like elevated a little bit and just looking out over it. It was awesome. So we were just sitting there on the bench finishing our lunch. And as I'm getting myself, psyched up, mentally prepared to put everything in motion, because the moment was creeping up on us. Literally, as we're eating, we were like, "This is a nice place. Yeah, it's a really pretty place." And Joy straight up said, she'd be like, "This would be a perfect place for you to propose to me," as a joke. And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah."
She wasn't joking. She was foreshadowing.
Exactly. So out of the blue, to her out of the blue, but this was my plan. I was like, "Hey, you want to dance?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I was like, "Okay, I need your phone though. I need your phone." She's like, "Why?" It's like, I just need your phone. I want to try and video us on my phone, but I want to try and play the music from your phone." She's like, "Okay, why do you want to video us?" And I'm like, "I just want to capture this memory." So, I played, just a really good song to dance to, and also perfect for the moment that I had been thinking about, was "Beautiful Girl" from Singing in the Rain. Hint, hint. So there, I started playing that. I started recording and everything, and we started dancing and everything. And I waited till the very end of the song when it was kind of ending in a crescendo, and that was when I, got down on one knee, pulled out the little box, and then, "Will you marry me?" And she did eventually say yes, but her first words were,
Or what?
But yeah, how'd that go again?
Hello? Did we lose him?
literally, did it not?
Yeah, you
Nope.
said the first words were.
Okay, it's weird, these earphone mics doesn't pick it up. She screamed.
Oh.
Oh, okay. All right. I kind of figured that's what you were going for,
yeah.
but
Her first words were, "Ah,"
just like that.
just like that. Just a little
Just
more
like that. Ah. Oh, you're proposing. Ah.
You're proposing. What a wonderful thing to do. No, yeah. So she screamed in disbelief, and then finally said yes. So we caught all that on video. You can see it on my Facebook. Wow, I sound old saying that.
You
But
can put
anyways,
Facebook.
on Facebook. And yeah. So, but what was great, what I realized afterwards, was that it was a song from Singing in the Rain, and literally it was raining while we were doing all of that. So that was amazing. But yeah, and so that was my proposal. And now
Such
she
a
is my
What a
lovely
proposal.
wife that I adore with everything.
You had
good
a
save.
what?
Good save.
Yeah. Yeah. So that ask was that ask, outshines and blows every other ask that I've done out of the water.
Good man.
Yep. But yeah, so yep, those are some crazy ones. Those are
Those
some,
were wild.
yeah. Yep. It was a crazy place. I don't even want to touch on scarfing. I'll save I'll save that for a later time.
Write it down.
Writing it down.
Write that
Get that on paper.
Get that on paper.
down.
So yeah, so that was all of my stuff there.
Well, cool. Thank you
Yeah.
for regaling us. That was lovely storytelling.
Yep. Sorry that it kind of took over like most of the episode.
It's okay.
Yeah, we're just spitballing here, so you went off on a tangent. It worked out good.
There you go. Do you want to do nerd news with Nana right quick?
Yeah, you got a little bit of time left before we need to kill the episode.
So they've announced a lot of things that are due to the Lord of the Rings TV show. It is officially called the Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
Did y'all see the teaser for the logo reveal, the title reveal?
The what?
The video of the title reveal for the show?
Oh, no.
So it was pretty much like a retelling of Galadriel's monologue at the beginning
Oh, I
of
see.
the movies. But it was done by the younger actress that's going to be playing the younger Galadriel in the show.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
And also, what they showed the trailer, the teaser trailer for the for the logo and the title. But then they also had an extra video that showed the behind the scenes of that. So okay, JT, have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it.
Oh dang, y'all need to go and watch it. But it's
apparently I'm gonna have to.
as it's kind of, it shows you like bits and pieces of the title of the logo as it's doing everything, and what it looks like is like they're pouring molten metal into the molds, almost like they're making the
Oh,
rings.
interesting.
But then it ends up being the letters for the title.
Oh,
And
that's
at the end they like kind of pour water. Water kind of flows over it, and then it cools it, and then it zooms out to show the Rings of Power.
That's cool.
They added another video showing the behind the scenes of that whole video. Apparently all of it was practical.
I was gonna say, I was hoping it would be practical.
Yeah, so they literally had molten metal poured into the literal molds for the letters that they had made, and when the water was poured over, they were literally doing that. It was all practical. It's a thing of beauty.
I hope they stick with the practical.
I mean, honestly, they could do it though, because here's my next point. If you ought to know this will be, and I think is already, the most expensive TV show in history.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, if it's gonna be one, it might as well be this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So let me try and.
I mean, they've got some pretty big shoes to fill.
I know, yeah. Let me see here. Yeah. So their budget is literally $1 billion.
Holy
Wow.
cow.
Yep.
How many
That's gonna be-
episodes is it?
I'm looking that up now. I know one of Joy's brothers posted this. So it says, by information of the OneRing.net, the first season of the Lord of the Rings series will have only 8 episodes, but the first 2 episodes will have a running time of almost 3 hours.
Wow.
What?
Yes.
Dang, it's like Sherlock.
They are not going home. They are going big, my friends.
Yeah.
This is going to be something like to remember for all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be so good.
Because they really don't want it to flop. If it flops,
Exactly.
gosh.
Yeah.
Also, the Halo series is coming out, but I heard that one doesn't really look, or people are worried it's gonna be super woke or whatever.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it turns out good. it looks amazing.
Oh yeah, it looks really good.
But I just hope that they don't push too much politically in it. I hope that they just stick to what the story is. Don't try and highlight things, other things. Just stick to what it is, and you'll make people happy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm excited. They also for Rings of Power they've released sort of character posters. So it's like it's the title / logo, and then it has like the different hands of the characters holding different items. Most of it is either like wands or staves or swords. And then I think one of them is like fruit or like nuts or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like to highlight the different characters that will be involved. So I've seen a lot of theory videos about like what exactly they're going to focus on in this show, and it could be the formation of the Rings of Power, but also we could see a young, uncorrupted Sauron.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
I don't know if he's uncorrupted because it was Morgoth who was the original Dark Lord in the Second Age, and Sauron was his lieutenant. But I don't know who was corrupted or not.
Okay. Well, it could. It's pretty much like going to be like an origin or like a backstory of Sauron.
Oh,
That's
okay,
going to be
okay.
included.
But I do know that the armor in the movie is not like Sauron in the books. That's more like Morgoth, I think, because Sauron more looks like an elf, like a dark elf kind of thing. And in the what is it called? The bonus features or the special features, there's a show. They were originally gonna have him out on the what is it, on the battlefield in front of the Black Gate and fight. He would actually be fighting Aragorn, and that's why you see Legolas look really, really concerned because they replaced it with him fighting a troll, but because they're like it wouldn't fit, it would be too much, but they still have the footage, some of the footage you can see in the bonus features, and you see a glimpse of his form of what he would look like for a little bit because it like it like shows a aura around this person and then around Sauron, and then you see like an elfish looking person come out. So if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. But
I have to look that up.
Yeah, they also revealed for the show they revealed a kind of a landscape shot, like a picture, and what can be seen in the foreground and the background. I don't know all the terms because I'm not super knowledgeable in the lore of this world, but apparently from what we can see, it tells us that it's going to be based in that land, like beyond Middle Earth. Where the elves and where Bilbo were headed at the end.
oh yeah,
Yeah, so it's going to be based in that land, and then I think later on transition to Middle Earth.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's kind of what the Silmarillion is like, I think, because it focuses on the creation of the world, and then a bunch of different, like the Valinor or something. I don't know. I fell asleep while reading it, so.
It is very.
Yeah, it's a literal history book, so makes sense.
Yeah.
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 Well, all right. You guys got anything else, or you wanna close it out?
I think we have spit all that we can spit.
I agree.
So, all right. Well, thanks guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed just this kind of raw discussion.
Yeah. Little spitballing.
It wasn't as random as probably we had hoped, but that's what it is. I think it comes down to me being such a planner that I ended up organizing something out of my head.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you're that good, you're just that good.
Oh well, I wouldn't say good, but anyways, yeah. Please, like this video. Um, Leave a comment down below. What were some crazy banquet or prom askings from your high school days? We'd love to know. And also,
Absolutely.
yeah, also hit that subscribe button so you can get notified for any other videos and episodes that we post. Please check out our other episodes that we've got. There's a lot of other crazy content out there.
That's right.
Also, try and follow us on the socials. We're on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Be sure to check out TikTok and Instagram. We post some extra content for you. A little bit of in between ooey gooiness. So you can probably check those out. Yeah, and thank you guys so much for listening. But we'll catch you sometime. Well, we do want to end with a dad joke.
Oh yeah, you got one?
Yep, I do have one.
Oh boy.
Hold on, I had it saved, then it's not coming up.
Technology issues. Come on, man.
Technology. Come on.
I saw one on a video the other day. It was like the videos where they try not to laugh at the dad jokes. And so somebody he was saying like somebody told me or my wife said I should be more like my wife and get more in touch with my feminine side. And he's like, so I went and crashed the car. And then
Oh no.
and then the follow up was like
Oh my gosh.
and then after that I went and ignored my wife for no reason all day.
Oh no.
Ay, ay, ay. Okay, here's a good old classic one. You ready for this?
Oh, I'm so ready.
All right. What concert cost just 45 cents?
50 cent and you got your nickel back.
Yeah, 50 Cent featuring Nickelback.
That's right. Hyuk, hyuk, hyuk.
All right, that was terrible. Hey, thank you all for
It
sticking
was
around,
goofy.
and we'll see you next time.
On Disney Channel.
My name's Johnny, and you're watching Disney Channel.
I'm not saying it.
Da, 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 da.